Don't start stacking gold and silver until you know these tips. Let's get to the video. Hey guys, Patrioticstacker here, and I'm back for another Saturday morning premiere train. I think the guys and girls that run this premiere should give me a permanent spot because I think this is my 4th or 5th Saturday morning premiere in a row. And you know what? I don't mind it. I really enjoy it. Anyways, today in this video we're going to talk about 3 tips that new stackers or people that are starting to stack should think about when buying precious metals. So let's start off with tip number 1, and I think this is the most important tip. I think even stackers that have been stacking for a while should keep this in their head, and that is don't stack precious metals if you have debt. And I'm not talking about a mortgage. I would say 80% of Americans have a mortgage. Well, maybe not that much. There's a lot of poor people too, but that can't afford houses. But I would say a good portion of Americans have a mortgage. Usually anywhere from a 15 to 30-year note. So that's not really a terrible debt because, a lot of Americans can't just buy a house with cash. A lot of Americans do mortgages. So we're not going to count that as really a debt. Or like a car, if you have a car loan or something like that. But, personal loans, credit cards, if you have any of those types of debt or, medical, anything like that, I don't think you should be stacking or investing or even saving money. I think you should be paying off those debts as quick as you can. Yeah, it's going to suck not to save or invest for a while, but listen, you're going to save yourself in the long run. If you start stacking metals, and trust me, this gets addicting. It really does. And you'll start, spending and spending and spending, and eventually you're not going to have the money to pay towards your debt, and you're going to have to offload this stuff. You don't want to have to do that. So when it comes to investing, in precious metals, we buy this stuff to hedge against inflation, to protect our wealth as a savings, and it just doesn't make sense to do any of those things if you have massive amounts of debt. Pay your debts off, and then get your ducks in a row, and you can start stacking precious metals. You don't want to have to sell this stuff at a loss or have to sell it at all until long term, until you've held it for a while, or maybe you pass it on to your kids. This is not for selling in the short term or selling for an emergency. You don't want to have to do that. That's what emergency cash is for. You got some cash in a safe or a savings account. You don't want to have to offload this stuff in that situation. So that's definitely the most important tip. Make sure you have no debt before stacking precious metals, or if you've been a stacker and somehow you racked up debt, pay off that debt. Don't buy any more precious metals until that debt's paid off. Just be careful. And also goes right along with debt. I hear a lot of new silver stackers buying precious metals with credit cards because they don't have cash or the funds, and they're afraid to miss out on things. Now, I'm not a stacker that's 100% against credit cards. I'm a big believer in credit cards. I use credit cards often, especially when buying precious metals online. I get cashback rewards, bonuses, points, free trips and free miles and plane tickets, all that stuff. And if you use a credit card the right way and you're responsible and you pay off whatever you spend each month on your credit card, then okay, it's fine. But you can bury yourself. I've seen a lot of stackers rack up credit card debt because they wanted this bar and this gold coin and couldn't pay it off that month, couldn't pay off the full amount. So they got stuck paying interest. What's the point of that? You're already paying an extra percentage when using a credit card online. If you have a good credit card, you get that, money back and then some. But, you can, end up spending, for example, you buy this St. Gaudens for $2,000 if on a credit card and you don't make the right decision, that coin could cost you 3,000. So you have to be smart. Starting off, if you don't have the cash to buy your metals, don't buy them at all. Just wait until you have the funds. And number 2, if you're a new stacker, you want to get your gold and silver as cheap as you can. You want to build that base up. You want to get a lot of gold and silver in that stack at a nice, decent base. And everybody's different. I think 1,000 ounces of silver is a perfect base, and I would say 5 ounces of gold would be a great base, a good amount of silver and gold to have. Or even if you had 500 ounces of silver and 2 ounces of gold, or 2.5 ounces of gold. Everybody's different, but you want to build that base. And buying high premium silver and gold is not the way you want to start stacking metals. For example, there's a lot of cool poured pieces out there like this, and these cool skulls, these Patriot skulls, and channel bars and channel rounds, and and you have your semi-numismatic coins, your Libertads, and Marvel coins, and all types of cool pieces of silver and gold, but it's expensive. That's more for collecting. If you're buying channel rounds or bars, that's more for supporting the channel and having a cool piece. Starting off, you want to stack silver and gold as cheap as you can. You want to buy bars, 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce, kilo bars. Gold, you want to get fractional, maybe 1/10 gold coins. I would say an ounce of gold because that's your best bet, best bang for your buck. But a lot of people can't afford 1 ouncer, so I'm going to say fractional gold, 1/10, quarter ounce, half ounce. If you can afford an ounce, save yourself a couple bucks, go ahead, because obviously the bigger size you buy, the more you save. Your 1 ounce gold coins will be cheaper than well, obviously they're not going to be cheaper, they're a lot more gold, but you're going to be paying less of a premium on your 1 ounce gold coins versus your 1/10 gold coins. But there are cheap options out there. You just shop around and find out your best deal on your gold or silver. I noticed a lot of new silver stackers commenting on the video saying, "Oh, I'm buying Eagles, and I'm searching for Engelhart bars," and that's not what you want to do in the beginning. You want to, like I said, build that base up. Now, if you're a collector and you're not a stacker and you're not stacking for savings or hedging against inflation or insurance, and you just want to collect, that's a different story. But if you're stacking for the same reasons most of us do, you want to stay away from the high premium stuff until you build that base up. And then eventually you have some fun. You buy some cool numismatic coins, or you start maybe collecting numismatics, or start buying cool pieces and stuff. But if you don't have that base yet, I would stay away from that high premium stuff. And tip number 3. So this is another very important tip, probably just as important as number 1, and that is buy from reputable bullion dealers. Now, starting off, my opinion, I think you should find your local coin shop. And now, granted, maybe you don't have a local coin shop in your area, so maybe you have to do something different, or maybe you'll be willing to travel to your nearest one. But if you do have a local coin shop in your area, go to your local coin shop, build a relationship with him or her, ask questions, and you can learn a lot about the business, about gold and silver, about other metals, and your best bet. And most of the time, they will steer you in the right direction. And obviously, at the end of the day, you need to make your own decisions, especially with your finance. But most of the time, local coin shops owners will steer you in the right direction and teach you a lot about precious metals. Now, if you don't have a local coin shop in your area, YouTube is a great resource. There are so many great YouTube content creators in this community where you can get a lot of questions to your answers without even asking them. They'll just, if you just watch a few videos, they'll pop up, and or you just search it in the key in the key tab up top, and what your question is, and I guarantee you 5 or 10 videos or maybe 100 videos will pop up on that topic. YouTube is great. Now, obviously, you need to make your own decisions, but it's definitely a way that can steer you in the right direction. And there are a lot of great online dealers online, like AppMex, JM Bullion, Hero Bullion, SD Bullion, Bold Precious Metals, Bullion Exchange, Silver Gold Bull. I can go on and on, but you do have to watch out. Usually, if it's too good to be true, it is, and that's a big saying in our community. Obviously, if the gold spot price is $1,800 and you see a 1-ounce gold coin for $1,600 or $1,700, it's most likely going to be a fake, and you're going to get scammed. Same thing with silver. If you see a 1-ounce silver eagle going for $20 right now, it's most likely a scam. So you gotta kind of have common sense as well, and everybody should have it, but I know some people don't. But yeah, it's very easy to get burned if you're not smart and if you don't have your guard up. When I first started stacking metals, I did not mess with online. I strictly was at my LCS. And until I learned from him and felt comfortable and started getting out there more, then I started buying from online dealers. And then eventually I went to groups on Facebook, on Instagram, and I started buying from reputable dealers from there. But yeah, start off with your LCS, which is your local coin shop. Start going online and reading up on reputable bullion businesses. You can look up through Better Business Bureau and other sites to check out if they're legit. A lot of great resources out there, but you definitely don't want to get scammed, and you want to make sure what you're buying is real. So it's very, very, very important to test your precious metals. Either buy a Sigma. Those are very pricey though, but if you want a cheap way to test your precious metals, get yourself the Sound Money Pocket Pinger. If you go down to my description, there should be a link saying the Sound Money Pocket Pinger. If you don't know what they are, check them out. Click on that link. It's a great way to test your silver and gold coins. But yeah, guys and girls, that's the video for today. 3 most important tips for new silver stackers. Tip number 1, make sure you have no debt when investing in precious metals and other investments. Number 2, make sure you stay away from high premium gold and silver. You want to build that base up as cheap as possible. And last but not least, tip number 3, make sure you buy from reputable dealers, and if it's too good to be true, it usually is. So yeah, guys and girls, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's an honor doing another Saturday morning premiere train. I did not rush this video, so that is good. And real quick, I just created a membership. If you want to be part of the Patriotic Army and you want to support the channel, go and the link down there or up there, wherever. I don't know where it is, but if you want to support the channel, become a member, and you can get free shipping on auctions, discount merchandise, all types of cool, awesome benefits for being a member. And also check out the merch store. There's some awesome merch down there. Should be definitely down there. I'm sure that one's definitely down there. And all that stuff helps the channel. It really does. And I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate everybody on this premiere train. I love you all. This silver and gold community is my secondary family. And real quick, let's just check this beautiful gold St. Gaudens out. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Anyways, don't forget those 3 tips. Very important. Trust me, there's 100 more tips we can go over today, but I wanted to pick the 3 most important tips, and those tips right there are pretty darn important. Anyways, guys, I can't even talk. Patrioticstacker. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.